Hey folks, little different video today, once again along the prepping lines, but kind of going along with, last time's video, but not completely. Um, there's a lot of videos that cover heat, food, water, cooling if you're in a hot climate, heating if you're in a cold climate like I am, medicine, you know, growing food, obtaining food, packs, all that stuff. Anyway, if we hit a situation where there's a grid down for an extended period of time, like I said, I don't trust the electric grid in my area anymore since they're going mostly solar. We just had a week of 4 days minimum of the thickest fog I've ever seen. It was broken by 1 day of sunshine, 2 days of fog, 1 day of sunshine, then 2 more days of fog. And I know there's a lot of things going around on the internet about that. I really don't think that there was anything nefarious in it. What I think is that we're right on the edge of the hot and cold weather systems, and it just keeps coming together above central Minnesota, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, but if the electricity turns off and you don't have a way to recharge things, and I want to talk today about how to keep yourself from going crazy, or a little bit of entertainment while you're sitting there waiting for electricity to come on, because most people nowadays use their cell phones or their TV for entertainment. You're not going to want to run this to play your favorite game offline while you're waiting for hopefully updates on whatever's going on. You're going to want to make that last as long as possible. If you don't have a way, like I talked about last time, like a solar charger to back it up or a battery pack, first off, get one of those, because then you could at least every couple days recharge. But you're going to want a way to entertain the kids, the family, people at the house, whoever's with you. And so you're going to need something that's not electronic and that can bring people together to have some fun. You can't work all the time. And to be honest, the first thing you start off with, in my mind, is a deck of cards. I have a whole bunch that I bought clearanced at a local place that does just truckloads of stuff, and then they sell it off. It's a bargain center. I think these were 99 cents a piece or less. So I have 6 decks of cards. And I have 6 decks because you need at least 4 decks to play canasta. But I also have, pick up something like this, 35 Popular Card Game. It's got all the rules for it in there. And this isn't online. You can read this. You guys can figure out different card games. Now this has a couple decks in it too, but it has all the rules for different card games. So something like this, very handy. If you have, like I said, a deck of cards, you can do solitaire, you can play 500 canasta. There's 1,000 different types of solitaire. I don't even know all of them. Anyway, there's a ton of card games out there to play. Then you also, things you can get very cheap, set of dominoes. A lot of fun. We don't play dominoes as often, but in the past we have, and I really enjoy them. And once again, really cheap. Now this is a little bit nicer set. These are double 12s, but once again, doesn't take electricity. You need a light source and some people to play with. Years ago, we picked up a travel version of Scrabble. So this holds all the pieces in place. It's a little smaller, so if you have trouble seeing smaller things, you might not want this size, but Scrabble is a great game. Actually exercises your mind a little bit. Other card games, Rook. I haven't played this in a long time now, but I did a few times, and I remember it being fun. But also, do some basics. You can get chess and checkers in an easy container like this. Now, this one's really old, but I'm pretty sure it still has all the pieces, and I haven't checked it in a while. But that's an option. as far as the older games go. Now I'm going to give you some. Sorry if I'm off camera here for a second, but I'm going to give you some of my suggestions for some of my favorites. Haven't played some. Some we played a lot, but some I haven't played in a while because I've moved on to other things. But I do enjoy board games. The construction game. This one's not as well known. It's a lot of fun. You can play up to 6 people, but it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. There's an earlier version of it too called the farming game, which is also a lot of fun. The pieces are kind of hard to keep track of because they're kind of a little. It's just a little Velcro-y, not Velcro, but a little plastic movable thing that sometimes are hard to keep track of, but they're very fun games. The farming game and the construction game. One that's extremely popular. There's 1,000 versions of, not 1,000. There's dozens of expansions and versions of this. Settlers of Catan, a lot of fun. Once again, I think you can play up to 6 people. Depending if you get the expansions, you can even make it bigger than that. Yeah, this original one is for 2 to 4, but you can get an expansion which brings it out to like 6. Another one that I really enjoy and I highly recommend is Carcassonne. It's a lot of fun. Once again, there's a dozen expansions for it. You can play up to 6 people with the expansions. Very enjoyable game. Now, a couple of new ones that we just learned about and we just started playing. I just picked them up. This one I got on sale because the top of the box was busted. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. The rest of the game is all brand new yet. But something hit the top of it. It's called Tiny Towns. Pretty randomized game for 1 to 6 people. So you can actually play this by yourself with one of the sets of rules. But it's fun. It's a little different each time you play it, which is nice. It's not always the same board. Like say you're playing a Monopoly or something, you're always playing on the same board. That one's a lot of fun. We just bought this one. We've only played it about 4 times right now, but it's a lot of fun. Cascadia. Once again, the play surface is very randomized, so it's kind of different each time you play it. Which I like. Some people may not like that, but I do. So this is one I would recommend. This one is a max of 4 people. Yeah, 1 to 4. So you can't play quite as many people with this one, but my plan is to buy a second one and expand it out to where you could play a whole bunch of people and it would be like a massive tabletop game. So we'll see if that works out. There may be a reason they capped it at 4. And then one I haven't even tried yet, but I picked it up based on the YouTube reviews and watching some people play it on YouTube, is Stone Age. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to have some friends over soon and play it. It's for 2 to 4 people. Takes an hour to an hour and a half to play, so it's a little bit longer. Like Cascadia, you can play in 45 minutes. But this one looks like a lot of fun. And you've always got some of the perennial favorites like Risk. There's 100, well, there probably are 1,000 different versions of Monopoly out there. It seems like every town has its own Monopoly version. It can be fun once in a while. Risk takes a long time, but it definitely would pass the time. If you're looking at an entire evening of it getting dark at 6 in the winter, and you're not going to bed till 10. You're going to have something to do. So, like I had before, either candles or those solar lanterns, and you can sit down with the family, play a board game. But like I said, make sure you have a light source. So those solar lanterns are great. Something rechargeable, and get a solar bag for it so you have some light. And then find some board games that your family enjoys and that you enjoy, or that you can play by yourself if you're a loner. Said deck of cards will keep you going for weeks if need be. And find a way to keep your mind active, whether it's Scrabble or just one of these games where you're actually interacting with people. Because in a grid down situation, you're not going to be, in my mind, a lone, I'm going to survive all by myself person. you're going to need other people around you that you can trust. So find people you can trust. You know, make a plan for if things would go sideways and implement that plan, and then find things. Like I said, you have your three major ones right off the bat: water, food, and a way to protect yourself. And then, like I said, if you're in a cold climate, it's winter, some way to heat a room or two. And then, ways to keep your mind active if you don't have these god awful cell phones connected to your hand at all times. So once again, this is Matt for Projects and Adventures. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, help me get to 200, and we'll see you next time.